In this segment, we're going to talk about the measurements to take on your bike to ensure that Vector fits properly on your particular bike setup. There's two critical areas to measure. One is the cranks themselves, and the other is the clearance between your chain and the crank. In terms of cranks, Vector's been designed to fit the vast majority of cranks on the market. The two critical measurements, however, though, are the thickness and the height of the crank. Vector will fit properly on cranks that are up to 15 millimeters thick and 38 millimeters in height. The reason that's important is the way that the pedal pod fits to the crank. When attached, you need a little clearance between the pedal pod and the edge of the crank. And it also needs to be narrow enough such that the rubber cable will fit around the crank and snap securely into the back of the spindle. If both of those measurements check out on your cranks, you're fine to install Vector. The second critical measurement is related to the chain clearance. To check that clearance, put your chain in the large chain ring and the small cog in the back. Rotate your cranks around to the point at which the crank is next to the chain. We recommend 5 millimeters of clearance between the back side of the crank, or the interface of the crank, and the edge of the chain. 5 millimeters is approximately 3 pennies stacked up. The reason that's important is, again, the way that the pedal pod fits and the rubber cable moves to the back and is attached to the back of the spindle. We need to ensure that as you're in this gear position and when you're pedaling, that the chain does not interfere with the back of the cable. Next up, we're going to take a look at your existing pedals, remove those from your bike, and then get the bike ready for a Vector installation.